A child stands barefoot in the freezing wind. No jacket, no shoes, no shelter, just skin. Hours later, they're still alive. Now imagine this. For millions of years, your ancestors lived exactly like that, completely naked. So here's the mystery. If humans survived without clothes for so long, why did they suddenly decide to wear them? Was it because they were cold, to hide their bodies? Or did one invisible enemy force humanity to change forever? The answer is far stranger than most people realize. For almost all of human history, clothes didn't exist, not because people hadn't invented them, but because they simply didn't need them. Early humans lived in warm parts of Africa, where thick body hair and the climate were enough to survive. But something unusual had already happened. Millions of years earlier, humans lost most of their fur. Compared to chimpanzees, we became almost hairless. At first, that sounds like a terrible survival strategy, until you realize losing fur turned humans into endurance machines. Instead of overheating after a few minutes of running, we could sweat across almost our entire body. That allowed ancient hunters to chase animals for hours under the burning sun, until the exhausted animals simply collapsed. It was one of humanity's greatest evolutionary advantages, but that advantage came with a hidden cost, one that wouldn't matter until humans left Africa. Imagine following a herd farther north than anyone in your tribe ever had. The air feels different. The nights grow longer. The wind becomes painful. Then winter arrives. Suddenly, the body built to survive African heat becomes dangerously exposed. Without fur, freezing temperatures weren't just uncomfortable. They could kill. Children lost heat fastest. Older adults struggled to survive. Entire groups faced a new enemy they had never evolved for. Fire helped. Caves helped. But neither could protect people while they hunted, migrated, or searched for food. Humanity needed something portable, something that could replace the fur evolution had taken away. But making that solution was far more difficult than simply wrapping an animal skin around your body. Because raw hides rot. They become stiff, they smell, they tear. So survival demanded a new invention. Somewhere tens of thousands of years ago, someone made a discovery that quietly changed human history. Animal skins could be cleaned, scraped, stretched, and softened. The result wasn't fashion, it was technology. Every successful hide meant another winter survived. Soon people began piercing skins with bone needles, not because they wanted better-looking clothes, but because tightly fitted clothing trapped warm air far better than loose animal hides. That single improvement changed everything. Families could now survive in places that had once been impossible, across frozen forests, windy mountains, and eventually, the icy landscapes of Ice Age Europe and Northern Asia. But clothes didn't just protect humans from the cold, they unlocked an entirely new future. Once humans carried their own protection, something incredible happened. They were no longer trapped by climate. Cold regions became livable, new animals became huntable, new lands became reachable. Eventually, humans spread across nearly every environment on Earth. Deserts, mountains, frozen tundra, places no hairless ape should have survived. And scientists discovered an unexpected clue supporting this timeline. Clothing lice. Unlike head lice, clothing lice can only survive in clothes. By studying their DNA, researchers estimate that regular clothing appeared roughly 170,000 years ago, long before written history. Tiny insects preserved evidence of one of humanity's greatest inventions. Sometimes, history hides in the smallest places. So, why did ancient humans start wearing clothes? Not because they were embarrassed, not because fashion existed, and not simply because they were cold. They wore clothes because evolution had created a body built for running under the African sun. But curiosity carried humans into places that body was never designed to survive. Clothing became our second skin, the first technology every human carried, and perhaps that's what truly separates us from every other animal. When nature wasn't enough, humans didn't wait to evolve. We invented our own evolution.